I don't know, the last couple of hours. I don't know whether to start. I don't know if anyone's going to come in here. Maybe should just leave it a few minutes before I start swatching. Because I did say in the last live that I'm going to be swatching this little baby. So this is my dupe. And just remember, guys, it's not going to be an exact match. You can't get an exact match for a Beauty Bay formula. Like, maybe mattes, but not shimmers, because they're just so beautiful. I might just start swatching, you know. Let me just wipe my hand off, because I need to do my dinner yet, and then I need to go to my mum's, and it's already 8 o'clock. So the live will be available anyway for the people that want to watch it afterwards. It's not exactly going anywhere. And I'm just going to swatch every shade on my hand. There's 20 shades in total. And I don't think it's going to be a long video. Hi Morag, you're just in time. Thanks for coming to this live as well. Right, so I showed you in the last one, didn't I? That's what it looks like. We're just going to swatch. So it's not going to be exact, because obviously I don't have the palette, so I can't do exact, but it's mainly all Colourpop. Apart from this one here, that's Pastel Roses, and that one's Natasha Denona down there. But anyway, let's get into it. And if you're asking me what shades Colourpop I used, honestly, I can't say. Because, like, when I was doing my own magnetic palettes, I went through a phase of just taking them out of specific palettes, so without writing names down. So that's a lesson to be learned on my part. Right. So we've got... Right, let me get the Beauty Bay palette up, so then I can show you as well as we're going through it. I never do 2 lives, one after the other like this. I once did a perfume collection and then a vanity collection, and then did a get ready with me, but I don't normally do this. So that's the palette. I hate it when they're saying obsessed, 100 plus sold already. So that's the palette there. So this first shade is more of a cream, whereas mine's more white, but that doesn't matter. So that one looks like that. Yeah, it's definitely more white. Then we've got, in the Beauty Bay one, I think it's a bit darker, like a forest green. Even though it looks khaki on the screen, but it's not. It's more of a forest green. So my interpretation of that is that shade there. That's very smooth. So that's that one there. Then the next one is a very light silver, or that's what it looks like to me on this picture. It almost looks holographic, this one here. So I pulled this one out. It looks to me, I've swatched it, but it looks, when I'm looking at it to the naked eye, like a light silver, but with like a hint of mint green in it. But I don't think it is. I think it's just my eyes. No, like when I look at it under the light, there's like a mint green undertone. I like that about it. So it's probably different, but I quite like that. Then we've got what looks like this one's darker than the one I pulled out. This one's called Mushroom here. Mine's lighter than that. So mine's just a very, very light transition brown, and I would probably prefer that over than what they're giving me on that first row. Yeah, it's definitely lighter from what I'm seeing. Obviously, I've not seen anyone do the swatches. I need to go and watch this Kerry. Probably not. I might probably watch it tonight when my mum's gone to sleep because I'm staying with her tonight. Hi, Sarah. I've just duped the palette this morning of the new Beauty Bay Botanicals. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I said in the previous live I would do it. So this is what the Beauty Bay Botanicals palette looks like. Mine's not exact. And I was saying in that other video, you can't get exact. The Beauty Bay formula is absolutely gorgeous, especially the shimmers. So you can't get exact of it. But this is my interpretation. It's similar vibes. It's not exact vibes. Then I've got this beautiful Colourpop one. Look how metallic this is. I want to say this one has come from the Elsa palette because I remember there being a really nice silver in there and I don't think it's there anymore. One way to find out, isn't there? Oh, isn't she cute? No. I think it might have been winter. This one here. So I'll just leave that on the bed and put it back later. I'm sure it's come from there. So this is shade 5. I'm going to show you all the shades because I know Sarah has just come in and there's a few other people too. So I'll show you all the first row that I've got. So that's shades 1 through 5 here. And then I'll try and do 5 more down this side. Like that. And then I'll show you the palette at the end as well. For the people that haven't seen it. Then we've got this mint green matte. And I'll show you what it looks like in the Beauty Bay palette. I feel like mattes are easy to dupe, personally. It's the shimmers. This one here. So, what was that one called? It looks like Natcha. I'm not too sure though. But anyway, I don't know whether this has come from Mint to Be. Wouldn't surprise me. I think this one's going to need a couple of swatches. The next shade after that is coming from Pastel Roses. So, I mean, I'm not being funny. I love Beauty Bay, but it's not going to outshine Pastel Roses. But I've only got one Pastel Roses shade in here. It looks very, very similar. So, what's that one called? Is it Artichoke? Yeah, I think it's Artichoke. Yeah, it is. This lime green here. So, let me show you what that looks like. So, this one is called Lime Twist. Look at that. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to get the, not Juvia's Place. My mind's on Juvia's Place because Tammy has got a video up. If you like haul videos, guys, go and check Tammy Robershaw out. Look at that. I think that's a duochrome. Because it does not look green. It's giving me a peach vibe. I might have to tear this out and put a mint green one there. It looks mint green when I look at it, but it's kind of giving me, like, through the camera lens. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. What are you seeing? I'm seeing peach. I'm sure I've got a mint green shimmer that I can put there instead. Right, then there's like a peachy one. Mine's definitely darker. This one is very, very light. So that one's called Sea Moss. And I probably got one in my... I'm not 100% sure. Sorry to keep standing up. Not 100% sure, but I bet you I've got a shade similar to that in here. No, I don't think so. The only shade similar is probably going to be Crush, and I don't want to crush this, to be honest. I don't want to take her apart. I want to actually use that very, very soon. So, again, I'll put that on the bed and sort that out later. Orange green to me, stunning. It is, but it's not the same. I might keep it in while I do some looks in the lives, and then I might just... It doesn't have to be exact, does it? I know that's what a dupe palette is, but you can't get exact unless you've got the Beauty Bay palette here, and then your palette that you've, you know, duped the vibe next to it, and then just swatch them next to each other. And it's kind of like, well, that's a bit pointless. The reason why I'm duping the vibe in the first place is to save money. But if I do get some Google AdSense money coming in, I think I might buy it. Because the whole point of my no-buy wasn't to not buy makeup. Well, it was in a sense, but it was mainly for financial reasons, which I said in the beginning. And if I'm not actually paying for it, then you guys can see what I think of it anyway. So let's see how I go. So we've got this like peachy one here. It is, I mean, it looks lighter on camera, I'll give it that. It is quite dark. This one came from Baby Got Peach. It looks more orange when I put it in, like, because of the lights and everything, it's looking more orange. But it is peachy. It's never going to be exact, it's duping the vibe exactly. See, I might get some people watching this live and they might say it's nothing like it. I've got Botanicals, it's nothing like it. Well, like I've just said, how can I dupe it unless I've got the Botanicals right in front of me? Because I duped the vibe of I Need a Nude ages ago, before I had the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. And I thought it looked so similar, yet when it came to me, it wasn't similar at all. And I still wouldn't have that palette now if it wasn't for Naomi, so I really appreciate her sending it to me. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourites. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's go on to the next shade in the Beauty Bay palette. Right, so the next shade is Savannah, so it's more like a champagne shade, this one here. And this is a champagne shimmer too. So, I mean, a champagne shimmer is a champagne shimmer, right? You know, it's nothing special. It's an inner corner highlight, basically. So, I think it is lighter, though, from what I've seen on the Beauty Bay video, where they were destroying the palette on Instagram. I mean, destroying the palette, they could send it to me as PI and I would big it up. You know, it's not even an expensive palette, but the fact is, I'm on a no-buy. You know, I'm on a no-buy for 12 months. And it's not worth breaking it. Okay. So, the next one, the last one, so this is 10, like, and then we're like halfway through the palette. So the last one on this row is Eggplant. And I think I've nailed that shade pretty well. So that looks like that. That one might be a bit darker. Oh, that one's so smooth. Like some of these shades I probably wouldn't even use if I had the palette, if I'm being honest. This traditionally, this eggplant shade, is not a shade I would tend to go for, but it will look nice like the outer corner. Right, so we've got 10 done now, so I'm going to show you these 10 because then I'll have to take them off. I don't want to put them all the way up the arm there. So this is what it looks like. That's the first 5. Yeah, that's the first 5 here. And then turn the arm around. This is the second 5. So that's the Pastel Roses one. All the other shades are Colourpop. I'm seeing, I don't know if it's May, I'm seeing like peach. I think I'll leave it in there until I use it. I might even use that shade on Monday. And then I'll decide if I just want to get a mint green shimmer, because I'm sure I've got one. Right, so I'm just going to take these off now. And then we've got 10 left to swatch. I'll just get a clean wipe. See, I feel like this video will be done in half an hour because we're on 16 minutes now and I'm halfway through it already. The plan with the palette is to bring it out on Monday, but I wanted to do the swatches already so people could actually see what we're working with on Monday if they wanted to. Because I do get quite a few people watch my lives after they actually go live, which I always find amazing that happens. Right, I'm just trying to dry it off a bit with the back of my other hand. Oh, hi, just joined. Thank you, Agni. Sorry, I can't pronounce the entire name. Right, I'll show you the palette, what it looks like. What I'm doing basically is a dupe palette, so I'm duping the vibes of the new Beauty Bay Botanicals palette. And I'll show you what that looks like. So that is let's zoom in a bit. So that is the Beauty Bay Botanicals palette. If you want to see how I got this look as well, that's already gone up in a different live. And I've jumped straight on to do this other live to do these swatches. Right. Okay, so the next one is, again, this one looks more mint green than silver. This one, and I don't really know where I got that from either. Yeah, it does, like in the light, it looks more mint green than silver, but never mind. Oh yeah, it definitely is. I might have to change that shade. I mean, there is a bit of silver going through it as well, but it's more mint green, in my opinion. And that's the shade there. I'm going to show you Beauty Bay swatches in a minute. It looks really dark there, but then on the swatches, so what shade's that? 11. That doesn't make sense. Sorry. I think maybe I've got mixed up somewhere. Right, so it's saying shade 11 is more peachy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but shade 11, shade 11 is down here. Right, so let me just switch some of these shades around. And then See, this was wrong. I don't think it is wrong actually, because you're only showing us 13 shades. They're only showing us 13 swatches, and it's a £20 palette. So I went to let me go and have another look, because I'm all over the place now. This is the one thing about duping a palette, has you all over the place. Yeah, because it doesn't show you the exact shades. They've basically gone in with like different shades. They've given us a view of 13 shades, but they've not actually like gone in with 1 to 13. So they could have used any shades from 1 to 20. So I'm not even gonna I'll show you the swatches. Of course I will. So that's some of the swatches. Where they've taken them swatches from, I don't know. But it is a really stunning palette. I'm not going to focus on those swatches because I'll just get confused again. So yeah, we've got that shade. I do actually like that. I might keep it in the palette. Then it looks like a blue. It's called Pebble. It would not surprise me if that was a blue. It looks like a very, very light blue. Does that not look like a blue to you guys? But then when I saw the swatches, it looked more like kind of khaki. My birthday passed. Happy belated birthday. Anyway, I put this shade in from the Natasha Denona palette that I've got, the Natasha Denona Glam. So this is in for now. I might change that later on so I can put a Colourpop one in and just put a very, very pale blue in there. Because I don't think this goes with the colour story, you know. I think it could, like when I'm doing a neutral look. Very, very soft. Did you have a nice birthday? Right, that's 3 swatches, just so you can see it. It would definitely go with the neutral tones. I don't think it would go with the mint greens and greens and things like that. Right, then we've got a peach shade. That one's called Canyon. There. And this one's come from the Baby Got Peach too. This is stunning. Ooh. How stunning is that? Need a drink, guys. It's like all I do is eat, sleep, breathe, makeup. Then we've got this shade. I'm not too sure that's 100% similar. No. That, I need like a light brown. I would say that at the top row is more similar. Do I have one in my Makeup Geek palette that might be similar? Right, we'll put creme brulee in, just so I don't have to hunt down a Colourpop one at this point. This one's too orange based. I'm sure that's come from Baby Got Peach as well. So leave that there. So we'll swatch this one then. So creme brulee, Makeup Geek. Let me just wash my finger. Works out well actually, because I want to use this shade, this Makeup Geek shade by the end of the year. So I can use it in this palette. Works out well. So that's that one there. And then the last shade. And then we've only got 5 left to swatch. Like in here is weird. In here it's called Amazon. It looks like a greeny silver. But then on the swatches, it looks like more. Right, we're reconnecting. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just saying it looks a completely different shade when you just look at the palette. I've just gone off the swatches, so I could be wrong, but I pulled in this because it looks completely like. Took me back to the swatches. It's actually a bestseller on Beauty Bay at the moment. Oh, stop. Right, so it looks like this one here. It looks more like a green silver, but like on the swatches it looked more champagne, so I just pulled in this one here. Goodness knows where it's come from. And it's quite nice, so I think it's a Super Shock. And this will be a nice one to have in to do a neutral look. So that's all those 5. So we'll go on to the next 5 now. Say the next 5, I mean the last 5. And I'm just going to put them down here again. And that's more like, it's got more of a brown in it rather than a full-on khaki. I bet I could bring in a shade from my Natasha Denona Glam palette for this. But I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. So that one's called Ash. So my one is more green. So that's what mine looks like. Very smooth. Like that. And then we've got another kind of champagne colour. That one's called Fall. This palette does remind me of autumn. It's very autumnal. So that's that one there. And this one's really nice. I think this one's a Super Shock as well. So these kind of shades would make a really nice. That shade there and that shade there would be really nice for the inner corner. So I'm already finding shades that I could switch up. Not, not the entire palette or anything like that, but just a couple shades here and there. Then we've got a brown, that one's called Clay. This one here. And this one's got sequins in it, so can you see that? That's nice. And now we've only got 2 left. Now this shimmer coming up is probably one of my favourites. So in the Beauty Bay palette, I would say it's more to match Eggplant. Do you know that really dark matte up here? What's happened? It's more of a plum. So yeah, it's more of a plum. I don't think mine is. I think it's more yeah, it's more khaki based, but I couldn't find a shade like that, so that's what mine's going to be. Very, very pretty, and again, that would go well as a neutral. It would give me a really nice neutral smoky eye. So looking at the palette, I'm just seeing so many different looks. Thanks for duping vibes, appreciate it, can't wait to see looks. And then the last one is June, which is this one, which is your basic kind of cream ivory, but this one's got more pink in it. So that's the entire shadows. So that was shades 15 and these are shades 20. So I've done all the swatches now. I want to take them off, and then for all the people that didn't watch what the palette actually looks like and wants to see it, I'll show you that in a minute. Why can't I get a wipe out? Just gonna take these shades off, guys. I need to get some wipes. So this is how my magnetic palette looks like. It's not the prettiest, and like I said, I might be making some changes to it, but that's what it looks like. So to me, yeah, it does look similar. This shade isn't similar to the one that's on the first row. This shade obviously shifts, and I didn't realise it shifts. It's a duochrome. I thought it was just a shimmer. This shade needs switching up, I think, and so does this shade. I don't have a shade that is like the one in the Beauty Bay palette for here. I mean, I'll keep looking, but I don't think I do. And yeah, I think that's it. So that's what my palette looks like. So thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If you like these kind of palettes, videos where I dupe the vibes, don't forget to subscribe. I do these regularly. If you haven't subscribed to my other channel, which is called Embracing My Curls, I'm trying to get to 50 subscribers. It's not a lot, guys. I would really appreciate your support over there as well. It would mean the world to me. I want to do lives over there eventually. So yeah, I'd appreciate that so much. If you've not liked the video, please like it. That also means a lot and gets me out there in the YouTube algorithm. We all know how hard that can be, and expect more great content really, really soon. Tomorrow is Second Chance Sunday. It's going to be around 5-6 o'clock. I don't know what palette I'm using yet. What I've done this afternoon is I've put some palettes away in drawers, but like the reason I'm looking over there is because I've basically got 21 or 22 palettes that I want to use, and then I can start rotating through my eyeshadow palette collection again, and just use basically whatever I want. So there'll be some palettes that I want to declutter, but overall it's just new palettes. I don't know how many I've got of them, probably about 10, and then the other ones are probably palettes that I just want to make sure that I want to keep around the collection. So tomorrow we're going to be using one of the Project Pan. No, we're not. We're going to be using one of the Second Chance Sunday palettes, and I'm going to see if I still like it or if it can get decluttered, along with the very many eyeshadow palettes I decluttered not so long ago. If you like declutters, like I said, I've done a declutter on my eyeshadow palette declutters. I'm still trying to do my declutters, but it was mainly eyeshadows that people wanted to see, so I did that first. There's also my cream blushes up there, and I don't think there's anything else at this point. I'm doing blush, like powder blushes next. Then I'll do highlighters, then bronzers, then lipsticks. I know I've got a lot of high-end lipsticks that I want to declutter because they're old, and obviously I don't want to put them on my lips. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now, and you guys have stuck around long enough. Thank you again so much for being here. It does mean a lot to me. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.